Welcome to Wilber, Nebraska, the Czech capital of the United States of America. Right here in southeast Nebraska, you are about to see the 63rd annual Czech Days Parade here on News Channel Nebraska. I'm Brandon Axelman. This is Cheryl Kostanek. We'll be with you for all of the action as the parade is making its way down 3rd Street as we speak. Cheryl, let's just talk about all of the different things that lead up to this parade. Wilber Czech Days, for those who may not be familiar, to the Czechs across the country and the nation watching, what is happening in this small town in Nebraska to celebrate Czech Days?
Wilber, Nebraska is sharing all the Czech spirit, culture, heritage with everybody that comes to the festival. We want them to know about our dancing, food, music, culture, quilt shows, art shows, demonstrations, anything Czech, come to Wilber, Nebraska.
And there's been activities and events happening throughout this week. We're now at the parade as they are coming down 3rd Street. We're going to talk about the parade and the nearly close to 70-plus entries that will be making part in this. What are some of the other things that have led up to the parade throughout the past several days? What's been going on?
Well, we just try to get ready. We have a bingo night of Czech bingo. But I'm going to announce here we have the Saline County Sheriff's Department. Wilber is the county seat of Saline County. Oh, and here comes a Czech banner carried by Lori Severson and Lisa Amy. These girls are daughters of Lloyd and Lawrence Ojeski, who carried the banner for years. So we're nice to have them. Here we have the Wilber American Legion, Louis Milon, Post 101. It looks like here we have the Crete VFW.
And there's Lori and Lisa, who you mentioned earlier, carrying that
there we go.
proud banner. You look at what this is, 63 years of celebrating Czech heritage in Nebraska, and as the color guard comes down with the Legion and the military floats for vehicles, you see those in attendance standing and saluting.
Was Dorchester Legion. Thank you, boys. Okay, and we have the Pelham Post 294. They nicely celebrate our Czech heritage. This is these guys.
And so the American Legion Riders, they are members of the American Legion, Sons of the Legion, and Legion Auxiliary that share an interest in motorcycling as we see them making their way down now. The group honors our military heroes in several ways, such as quilts of valor ceremonies, flag lines, and funeral escorts for our fallen military men and women. They also actively raise funds for veterans and children's charitable organizations. And they are not the motorcycle gang. They are not Freedom Riders. They are the American Legion Riders, Post 27, 180, and number 3. Getting a good look at them here to get things started off the 63rd annual Wilber Czech Festival Parade. Cheryl, you a motorcycle rider back in your day?
Maybe a little bit.
I believe it. I believe it. There's several here.
I like air conditioning now.
You know, I'm with you on that one.
And this looks like this is the American Legion. Oh, the national president.
So that was National President Lisa Williamson in the American Legion Auxiliary Jeep. And the Jeep that carries President Lisa Williamson is from Alaska, the National Vice Chairman of Membership Amanda Washburn from Lincoln, and National Executive Committee member Vicki Ozenbaugh from Ohio. I want to make sure I get that right, and Department of Nebraska President Lisa Moore from Wilber. This is the president.
This is the Nebraska Czechs of Wilber president and First Lady Rand and Pandy Koziel. They do a lot of work to make the festival run. And this is the Wilber mayor and his lovely wife. Very good, Darla.
So there you said Roger
Kranz and his wife, Darla
right.
Kranz. Thank you.
Very good. Nice. Excellent weather for a convertible, I will say, as we now see our next float coming down.
This is a 24-25 Nebraska Czechs of Wilber royalty float. Queen Mackenzie Anthony, Czech Princess Brinley Burns, and Czech Prince Gavin Pospisil. They've done a great job of representing Wilber this summer. Very nice. They've gone to a lot of parades.
And as the Wilber Claytonia Junior Senior High School Band makes its way down, what goes into being chosen to be one of these Czech royalties?
There is a committee that chooses among many children, and they pick the best candidate they can. And now we have the Wilber Claytonia Junior Senior High School Band.
Excellent display by the band. Live from Wilber here on News Channel Nebraska for the 63rd Annual Czech Days Parade. Getting a well-deserved applause by all of the parade goers. And so I believe prior to the band, you said we saw the 2024-2025 Nebraska Czechs of Wilber royalty.
Yes, sir.
We have more royalty now coming up on the tail end of the band.
You got it. So here, oh, good. We have the Miss Czechoslovak Queen Ambassador Destiny Hollinsworth, and Emily Briggerman is her little sister. The little sister isn't really their little sister. It's somebody chosen from the area to be kind of a little ambassador to the Queen.
There you see it, the Czech Queen and the sister Ambassador Emily Bruggeman.
Very good.
And our next float of royalty, first runner-up.
Go ahead.
And those are, I better let you get the names. I don't want to mess those up.
That is Drew Hania Thompson, and her little sister is Emilken Reinecker. She was the first runner-up. Now we have the second runner-up, Lauren Lishatai, and her little sister is Sydney Davis.
And you can see, too, just on their faces, how much it means to be royalty and to represent their culture in this way. A very special honor for these girls.
Now here we're going to start the candidates for the Queen contest tonight.
All right, so
I'll go.
Lay that out a little bit further. Candidates for the Queen contest, what's that going to look like tonight?
Czechoslovak Queen cast. Andrea Kobilova and her little sister, Era Vavra. And she's from Illinois. Now we have Miss Czechoslovak Omaha Queen, Aspen Hine, and her little sister is Tessa Lytle.
And this is the hometown representative right here.
Oh, yes. That's Miss Camille Kotoch of Omaha, and her little sister is Libby Shows. She's the Nebraska Miss Czechoslovak Queen.
So to lay this out for our viewers, we're seeing several cars with queens and sisters from different states that are going to be voted on tonight here at the Wilber Czech
Exactly.
Days.
It's a lovely pageant. Very fine young ladies. Here we have the Minnesota Queen, Elena Novak, and her sister is Harper Brom. Hi there. We have Miss Czechoslovak Kansas Queen Emma Carlin and her little sister Emma Wallenberg. Just getting convertibles for all the queens is a special job.
They certainly are treated like royalty, and again,
they
a
are.
beautiful day to have a convertible. As now we're getting a look. Is this the Missouri
Yes.
convertible?
Go
Yes,
ahead.
it is. Missouri.
Catherine McGee, a little sister, Chrislyn Nojiski.
And we have a Bronco here representing Texas, the Miss Czechoslovak Texas Queen, Katie Kostelnik. Did I get that right? And little sister
Pretty good.
Evelyn Orecki.
Very good. So it's a nice evening tonight. We're at the outdoor theater. You're under the stars. It's a fun program.
How long's the program last?
Oh, probably a couple hours.
Very good. And all of these will be competing. This is the Iowa Czechoslovak Queen, the Morgan Simino, and little sister Remington Mariska.
Good.
Mariska. There we go.
Good.
Kashtanik. There it is. I'm getting it. And this
Okay,
is
Miss
Wisconsin.
Queen Trinity Pesco and her little sister Olivia Kitt. And that was Wisconsin. Now we're very fortunate to have some dignitaries come and visit us of the Czech descent. This is a deputy. Well, he's not quite here.
There it is. Yeah, Deputy Consul right here.
Yes, of the Czech Republic, Andrei Pometlo.
Czech Republic in Chicago
Yeah,
making their
very
trip down
good.
here.
Deputy General Counsel.
All right. National Czech and Slovak Museum and Library in Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Very nice. Very nice. And along with that, the honorary counsel for Flora, Dr. Cecilia Rakusek, accompanied by Dr. Robert Petrick, former Slovak honorary counsel for Florida. Oh, and now we have the Rastos Puppet Theater from Brno, Czech Republic. Puppetry is a strong hobby of the Czechs, so I'm glad they're here.
And
Now we have the, looks like,
this is the alumni.
Czechoslovak past royalty. Good to have you, kids.
Now in the silver Mercedes.
Oh, some more of the royalty.
More royalty.
They're past queens.
Again, you're watching the Wilber Czech Days Parade here on News Channel Nebraska. Brandon Axamit and Cheryl Kashtanik with you. Is this the Miss Czechoslovak Nebraska Queen of 2024-25? It is.
Yes,
That's
it
Grayson
is. Graceland.
Baumert.
Hi, Gordon Baumert. Miss Nebraska Czechoslovak Queen. She will be replaced this evening with a new queen.
Does she have any role in judging those that are, or does she just get to be there as the dignitarian?
She's a dignitarian this year. Maybe in years to come, she could possibly be
There
a
you go.
queen.
Now this is Miss Czechoslovak Iowa Queen, Barbara Isabel Sherman.
Sherman.
And now the green Mustang coming down. I believe this is Wisconsin. We'll see for sure, but it should be.
Looks like it's Kansas.
Well, that's okay, too. If it's Kansas, that means it's Miss Czech Slovak Kansas Queen Hannah Orr and She is a 2024 Kansas Czech-Slovak Queen. She's 17-year-old daughter of Jeremy and Deborah Sternad, and a recent alumni of the Republic County Junior Senior High School. This fall, she'll be attending Kansas State in Manhattan, Kansas, where she plans to major in nutrition and health with a minor in Spanish. The little princess is Haley Lackey of Lenexa, Kansas, who is 9-year-old daughter of Steve and Mary Elizabeth Lackey, and she will be a 4th grader at Horizon Elementary School. Now we're getting a look, or I want to make sure actually I mentioned the junior princess too, and that is the 6th grader, Adeline Lackey of Lenexa, Kansas as well.
Okay, and we just have the all 6 in one vehicle. Miss Czech-Slovak Queen Madeline Karstead, little princess Lily Karstead, little prince Lincoln Holacek, junior queen Grace Moravec, runner-up Kayla Jupe, and Miss Westfest Grace Watson. This is Miller. 2024-25 York Czech-Slovak Queen Jalen Miller.
In the yellow Jeep, for whatever reason, I always enjoy a yellow car. Sure, I don't know what it is, but she is representing York well, Jalen Miller. This is Miley Bielik of the Omaha Czech-Slovak Cultural Club Queen.
And her princess, Sophie Polivka.
Want to give a special thanks to our sponsors helping make this broadcast possible. Wilber Care Center, Wilber Lions Club, Nebraska Czechs of Wilber, Carpasex Market, and Western United Mutual Insurance, all helping make the broadcast of the 63rd Annual Czech Days Parade on News Channel Nebraska possible.
And we just saw the Tabor, South Dakota Czech Queen, Gracie Pakos. And looks like now we have Dwight. Czech Queen, Brittany Burash. And she's doing the chicken polka
there we go.
on her convertible.
Getting some participation from the audience.
Oh, my. Clara Potter is the Dwight Czech princess.
She's the daughter of Casey and Jennifer of Valparaiso. Her ancestors include the Liska family from Bohemia and the Benish from Moravia. She has danced with the Dwight Czech dancers for 8 years and would like to thank Brenda and Rick Kufal and the Dwight American Legion, Jones Bank in Valparaiso, Randy's, Pivo and Dwight, Dwight's Night Car Club, Gym Service, Benny Electric, and Paul's Plumbing for sponsoring her.
Here's a Prague, and I don't have that.
Czech Heritage Day, there's always something fun. That's coming up on August 10th, that truck representing Prague.
And Christina Caven, accompanied by junior princesses Juliet and Clementine Streeter. And now, is that Miss Lena Dvoracek? And she's a Lincoln Czech-Slovak Queen.
They're in the yellow convertible.
Okay, and her princess is Eleanor Sneft, and Czech-Slovak Prince is Howie Sneft. Here's a Republic County Czech Queen, and I didn't see her name.
So the
Karsten Vitalsi, and Sophie Vitalsi, and Wesley Vitalsi.
All representing Republic County Czechs of Kansas.
Okay, and there we had the Oklahoma Czech-Slovak Junior Queen, Sophie Gehring, and the Princess, Emma Fraser.
And that's in the Mini Coopers. They say hello to from all the Oklahoma Czechs. The Oklahoma Czech-Slovak Junior Queen, Sophie, and Princess Emma would like to invite you to come celebrate them at the Oklahoma Czech Festival on the first Saturday in October.
Very good.
Have a little break in the action here, but let's just talk about the scope of what's happening. You hear celebrating of the Czech culture and Wilber specifically. You look at the historical context, Cheryl, which is something you know a lot about. How did it come to be that Wilber became the Czech capital of the U.S. back in 1987?
Correct. We had a kind of a vast letter-writing campaign to our senators and representatives telling why we thought we might deserve this honor. And there's our Senator Tom Brandt, District 32. There we go.
Speaking of senators, there's Tom Brandt right there. Him and his wife, Sandra Brandt, from Plymouth, Nebraska. Brandt represents District 32, which includes the counties of Fillmore, Jefferson, Saline, Thayer, and part of southwest Lancaster.
He was instrumental in we're trying to get a Czech license plate for Nebraska.
Well,
we have Swing, 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 the Costello Polka Band, founded by the Bruning Bank.
Bruning Bank was chartered in 1891 by the Bruning family. 5 generations later, the Bruning Bank is still here to serve you. Bruning Bank has 6 locations in Nebraska: Grand Island, Kearney, Holdridge, Broken Bow, Hebron, and Bruning. And they got some people singing with the polka.
So hers.
So after the Costello Polka Band, I believe this is the Czech Culture and Education Foundation.
Yes. Keeping that Czech heritage alive. Thank you.
Ooh, these are some oldies but some goodies. A Model A Ford Club coming your way.
Nebraska. Oh.
And we have several, looks like nearly a dozen Model A's making their way down 3rd Street. So Cheryl, you're instrumental in making this all happen, of course, every single year. The theme of this year's Czech Days, Together We Can.
Together We Can.
Expand on that. Why was that chosen on for this year?
I think just to show that we maybe had a little turmoil in the United States and are just not working together, and we wanted to show together we can. And we do.
Well, let's take that a step further. When you look at year in and year out what goes into putting this celebration on, it's a year-long planning process. How many people roughly are involved? There's committees, there's volunteers. It's a local and a bigger picture level. What does it take to make this happen?
We probably have 50 committees comprised Nebraska Czechs of Wilber. Some are maybe only 2 on a committee, and some are 75 on a committee. But 1,000 volunteers come together to put this on. Nobody's paid. We just do it because we want to keep Wilber strong.
If that doesn't speak to just small-town Nebraska and values and community, I don't know what does.
Okay, and looks like we have the Wilson, Kansas Czech dancers. Good job, kids.
So this is the 3rd year a small group of dancers have danced the parade route in Wilber, but these dancers have been coming to Wilber since most were in diapers. You'll see them dance the Zibuyan, the Cobbler, and the heel-toe polka. The Wilson Czech dancers want to thank Wilber for always putting on such a wonderful celebration.
Very nice. There, we just had Steve Cantrell in his 67 Ford Mustang. And now we have J.C. Slama, 1977 GMC, bought new by Ed and Darlene Slama, owned by J.C. Slama, driven by grandson Taven Slama. Minor touch-ups from back in the day, but all original body and interior. Shows its stage, but still it works.
And now it's the Sowers Club making its way down 3rd Street, as you might be able to tell by the Sower Float. Welcome the Dixie Downbeats Band and the Sower Club of Lincoln. For over 50 years, the Sowers Club and its foundation have been sowing goodwill and improving lives in Nebraska communities. This group of Lincoln businessmen promote a better life for Nebraska by providing financial assistance to children, the disabled, and the underprivileged through grants and scholarships. Since 1989, the Sowers have donated over $3.5 million to more than 300 nonprofits in the state.
Very nice. Very nice. Sowing goodness wherever they go.
And Coming up next after the Sowers Club and the band, we have
Les Vilda. He is the beer party candidate for the U.S. president. He's ran many years.
Les is driving his mobile campaign headquarters, which is a 1920 Model TT Ford truck. His campaign slogan is, "Get more with less because you couldn't do any worse." While you're in Wilber, you don't forget to stop by and visit the Les Vilda Presidential Museum and Library located in the intersection of 1st and Main Streets. Les would like to remind you, when you go to the polls in 2024, please remember to vote early, vote often, and vote more for less. And coming up next, looks like that's the Crete Area Medical Center Bryan Health as Les Vilda makes his way and turns right. The Crete Area Medical Center, named in the 2024 Top 100 Critical Access Hospitals in America, which speaks such high accolades for the services and team members dedicated to caring for our communities, businesses, schools, families, and friends. Did you know, Cheryl, that there are about 1,353 critical access hospitals in the U.S.? It's such an honor to be recognized for top quality health care, safe medical practices, and a very engaged team. Crete Area Medical Center, Wilber Medical Clinic, and Friend Medical Clinic are happy to serve your medical needs right here close to home.
Amen.
Glad you're with us here on News Channel Nebraska, 63rd Annual Wilber Czech Days Parade on NCN. Brandon Axman and Cheryl Kostanek with you as the Knights of Columbus make their way down 3rd Street.
Another fine group of our community.
Oh, we got some big Tootsie Rolls being thrown out for all the little ones. They are sparing no expense on the candy.
Oh, we have a marching kazoo band.
Very colorfully dressed, Hawaiian theme from what I can tell. This band loves to play the kazoo, and the band's goal is to make people smile and have a bunch of fun. I'd say they are achieving that goal. Again, loving to play the kazoo. Making people smile, having fun, that's their 3 checklists. I can get on board with that. There we go. The marching kazoo band here at the Wilber Czech Days Parade. All right, what do we have? Is this a
Velarex? A Velarex?
Look at this
owned
guy.
by Charlie Mara.
1970 Velarex. Here we go.
Wow.
I feel like that thing could probably get up and go. As we look at the Velarex with the Czech flags coming up next, we got a couple of Challengers, both with pinstripes. This first one is a 2015 Challenger owned and driven by Justin Bessard. The orange on orange. Or excuse me, we're out of order. This is actually the 2023 Challenger.
Yes.
Which is the SRT wide body Hellcat Jailbreak, and this is owned and driven by Andy Carl. So Andy Carl in the orange Challenger you're seeing now.
Oh,
and another 2023.
And this is Lonnie Carl. Hellcat wide body Jailbreak. Wow, that's purple.
And wouldn't you know what, my favorite color is purple. I like yellow cars, but purple is my favorite color, and I can get behind that Challenger driven by Lonnie Carl.
It looks like we have the Wilber Care Center coming up. Very good. We can do it.
Caring is our calling, the Wilber Care Center, and they are making their way, doing an excellent job in this Wilber Czech Days Parade, also followed by the Gator.
We have a very nice care center in Wilber, Nebraska.
Brandon Axmit, Cheryl Kostanek with you for the Wilber Czech Days Parade. Glad you're with us on News Channel Nebraska. Looks like what we have now is
the
the
Pods Dance Company from Crete, Nebraska.
Pods Dance Company, also known as Put On Your Dancing Shoes. It's a non-competition, recreational-based dance studio located in downtown Crete. Pods believes that anyone can put on their dancing shoes and enjoy the wonderful art of dance. Stop by their Crete studio for their fall open house. Tuesday, August 6th at 5:30, you can enroll in one of their fall dance classes.
Nebraska Czechs of Wilber, Hotel Wilber.
Seeing the Hotel Wilber float, the Nebraska Czechs of Wilber Hotel Wilber has been a historical cornerstone for the Wilber community since it was built in 1895. It continues today to remind us of the rich Czech heritage our town was built on. Hotel Wilber is proud to be home of the famous Hotel Beer Garden, where all your polka dreams come true each night of the festival. The hotel is also very excited to welcome the Ambition Coffee Company under its roof. Make sure to stop by and pour yourself a cup of ambition. Excellent, excellent warm day in Wilber, Nebraska, the Czech capital of the United States of America, as it was named in 1987. Cheryl, we sort of started talking about how that happened. You had to write it in. President Reagan was involved. Sort of, as we have a break in the action, finish that story of how this became the Wilber, or the Czech capital of the United States of America.
Well, we wrote to our 2 senators and 3 representatives telling why we should, a letter writing campaign, and then it went to a joint resolution between the House and the Senate, and they voted yes, and President Reagan signed that document, and we are very, very grateful.
And I imagine a lot has come of that, from outreach and people understanding and recognizing Wilber as the Czech capital of the United States of America. And when you look at this parade and who it impacts and how it impacts people, what is the reach of this celebration?
Well, the Wilber Czech Festival is the largest ethnic festival in the Midwest. All year round, we have guests coming to check out Wilber. We have a lot of Czech local businesses, the meets, that show what our Czech spirit is all about. We just welcome anybody to come to visit us.
Can you, throw out a couple of locations and places that just are top of mind from, hey, I came from either this country or this part of the country to come to Wilber to see this?
Look, yesterday I was with some people from the Czech Republic, and they commented, they said, you're more Czech here than we are in the Czech Republic.
So just to make sure we point that out, people from the Czech Republic traveled over the Atlantic Ocean and drove to Wilber, Nebraska to experience what's happening
Czech culture.
Here. There we go. I would say with your 50-plus committees and your 1,000 volunteers, you're doing something right, if that's the type of compliment you get.
We're fortunate. We're just fortunate to have community embrace this and give it themselves to make it better. It's a kind of a fellowship. We just want to keep Wilber strong.
And as the Czech Alumni Band comes our way,
down.
For those who don't know, what's the size of Wilber again? People watching across the country.
We're 40 short of 2,000 people.
So
in
about
the last census.
1,960 people in southeast Nebraska making this all happen. And again, being recognized as the Czech capital of the country.
It's just a fun spirit, and I can't thank the people enough that all volunteer to make it work. This is the Czech Alumni Band. I think next year is 40 years. So they've been around here a while. It's all alumni band members of Wilber-Clatonia Public Schools, and they continue their Czech traditions.
And the alumni band is bringing it. When you talk about some of these Czech heritage outfits and uniform that are being worn, for those who aren't Czech, what are they called?
We call it a kroj. A kroj. So I'll bet we have from 18 to, oh, I know there's one that's 72 in there.
This is the 63rd annual Wilber Czech Days Parade here on News Channel Nebraska. Brandon Axement and Cheryl Kostanek with you. We're getting close to the halfway point. Glad that you are with us as the parade continuing down 3rd Street.
I like the vests because some of them have back insignia with maybe they're farmers, maybe their name, their hearts. It's a fun, personal thing to do. Oh, we have Farmers and Merchants Bank. Together we can save money and buy kolache. Very good.
I can get behind that.
Together we can. Wilber's fortunate to have 2 strong banks.
And the big blue pig, hard to miss, Farmers and Merchants Bank.
Looks like we have powder coating.
All right, we got some water guns that I know a lot of the parade goers will appreciate being shot by.
Armor Coatings from Denton, Nebraska.
Well, Armor Coatings is a custom powdered coating shop that provides high-quality, durable powder coat finish and enhances the appearance, provide protection and longevity for all private and commercial applications. We also saw Landmark implement your local John Deere dealer that prides itself in extensive parts, sales, and service network. Now we're seeing a Bloom Floral and Gifts. They celebrate that together we can. The world is like a puzzle for each one of us to represent a piece. Piece by piece, we are all essential to make our world thrive and survive. Coming together is a beginning. Staying together brings progress, and working together creates success. A Bloom Floral and Gifts. One piece of life's puzzle is a perfect example of working together.
I think that's a nice saying.
I
like
think
a puzzle.
so, too.
Work it together.
Oh, now we got the Super Soakers. Look out.
Wilber Claytonia, FFA chapter.
And they are doing a good job of not getting the cameras. Excellent work, boys.
Strong group of young men and ladies that make agriculture better.
Now it looks like TJ Sokol of Crete coming down with the blue pickup. Bone Shaker and Terror on 12th Street Haunted Houses. They're sponsored by Telclavin Jednoda. TJ Sokol in Crete, easier to say. Come visit 2 of Nebraska's premier haunted houses for fear and fun coming up in October. Bone Shaker and Terror on 12th Street are open Friday and Saturday nights in October in Crete, Nebraska. Now, Cheryl, warning. Haunts are not intended for young children, but are fun if you're looking for a scare.
That's exactly right.
Oh, and the event's proceeds for those haunted houses go to the renovation of the 108-year-old historic Sokol Hall.
Crete has a nice Sokol Hall. Wilber, Nebraska has a very nice Sokol Hall. It's a large gathering place for weddings and anniversaries and celebrations.
Now we have a tractor, well decorated. That should be Rudolf Jelinek of the Czech distillery. And the distillery was founded in 1894, is renowned for producing premium fruit brandies and liqueurs in the heart of the Czech Republic. Using traditional methods and high-quality ingredients, they craft a wide range of spirits, including slivovitz, apricot brandy, pear brandy, and other herbal and fruit liquors. With a rich history of commitment to excellence, Rudolf Jelinek Distillery continues to be a respected name in the world of distillation, offering distinctive flavors and exceptional quality.
This is the Czech Heritage Cultural Tours.
So that's the Czech Heritage Team that's been offered a variety of cultural activities since 1992, and they regularly host all-inclusive tours to the Czech Republic, present programs on costumes and culture, and prepare the custom accordion exhibit that's displayed each year at Kunsel Funeral Home. Stop in and celebrate after the parade. The Czech Heritage crew is transported by a 1957 WD 45 Alschammer tractor, driven and owned by Jeff Kirkland of Lincoln.
Now go on to Farmers Cooperative.
Now this is Farmers Cooperative truck. Established in 1903, Farmers Cooperative is a full-service ag provider serving southeast Nebraska and northeast Kansas with over 60 locations. Farmers Cooperative provides service, grains, agronomy, and energy and feed. As this is First State Bank now. Together we can.
Farm Bureau.
First State Farm Bureau.
And this is First State Bank.
Farms Bureau of Steve Schreinemeyer Associates have been serving clients for 30 years, and we're now looking at First State Bank of Nebraska, which welcomes you to Wilber for the 63rd annual Czech Parade. They're proud to be a member of this community where they have been serving their customers and communities for over 100 years. Customers are neighbors and our friends, and they hope that you can join the Polka celebration this weekend.
Very good. Now, Milligan.
This should be the Milligan Czech Brass Band in the big school bus, the remodeled school bus.
That's been around a while.
And it's also made possible by First State Bank of Nebraska. Welcoming the Milligan Brass Band to the parade. The band is a group of musicians from southeast Nebraska that loves to play Czech polkas. The band travels to many local festivals and celebrations throughout the year, sharing their musical talents to Nebraskans and the neighboring states. They'll be performing at the Sokol Hall from 4 to 5 following the parade.
Lovely band. Very nice. Milligan is about 20 miles to the west of us, and they are good supporters of the Czech spirit. Now we have Big Blue Diesel Repair right here from Wilber, Nebraska.
That is quite a rig.
Yep.
Oh, we have koozies.
Thank you, Noah. He's very good with Caterpillar equipment.
That is Big Blue Diesel Repair, and
now we have
Shriners coming next.
Shriners. Ooh, the
Shriners.
bats. Ooh.
They are everywhere in the summertime. We did the Shrine Bowl to start off our summer sports schedule in Kearney back in June. We've been covering several parades where they've been at throughout the summer, and this is no exception. The Shriners are here.
They do so much good for our children.
Raising money for families of those affected by certain medical conditions where those families don't have to pay a penny to receive treatment. Always fun when they get out the tricycles, and sometimes there's motorized chairs, plenty of nice cars. There we're doing some burning out and drifting. Ooh, here we have a mini organ. What do you? Is that what you call it? Mini organ? Does that count?
He's having a good time. Oh, the Temple Daughters of the Nile.
This is the Sarostis Shrine currently. Director's staff.
It's Treasurer Henry Schultz. They've helped some local children, and it's just a wonderful organization.
They're also known, for being dressed up like clowns, and there's one currently making his way down 3rd Street talking to the locals. Nearly 20 Shriners hospitals for children across the United States. Oh, here come the miniature vehicles.
Oh, I like these little bugs.
And soon the Corvettes. Again, you are watching the Wilber Czech Days Parade, the 63rd annual celebration of Czech Days. Wilber is the Czech capital of the United States, as it was named by President Reagan in 1987. Brandon Axelman, Cheryl Kostanek with you for all of the day's festivities.
Now, which one's your favorite Corvette?
I'm waiting to see if there's a purple one. If there's not a purple, we'll have to see. I mean, it's hard to go wrong with a Corvette. They're all
they're gorgeous.
looking immaculate.
Oh.
Freshly washed and waxed. This one has a giraffe in it even.
And Mickey Mouse hands.
Yep.
Oh, just beautiful.
Corvettes new and old.
Ooh. Which year is that one? That's beautiful.
I don't want to embarrass myself by trying to guess.
60s?
60s or 70s seems to be safe. Sure, we've talked a lot about the significance of Wilber and being the Czech capital of the United States. You, of course, have played a big role in this. You have about 1 million different titles. Officer for the Czechs, you were the chamber president, Wilber ambassador, community builder. You taught the Czech dancers for 37 years. When you kind of look back at all of the things you've done, is there one thing that you'd say you enjoyed more than anything else? And obviously you're invested in the community and the cause, but why have you been able to do this for such an extended period of time?
Our most important crop is our children. Even though I'm a farmer and we raise corn and soybeans, alfalfa, our children are the most important crop. I enjoy working with the junior Czech dancers. I've done that 37 years. We went from about 20 kids in the group to now we have over 96. So, and my joy is seeing those kids be fine young adults. They grow into good people. And now they're coming back to help us celebrate the festival. So it's a full circle. It feels good.
So when you're a junior Czech dancer, what does that all entail? What do you teach them? I mean, obviously they learn to dance, but what?
Well, I learned how to two-step.
Okay.
Learn how to two-step. That's the most important thing. They also learn that company's coming, so you can't fight with your brother or sister. You got your Czech outfit on. You give it your all, and do the best you can. And they do. And they do.
Shriners continuing to make their way through the Wilber Czech Days Parade on 3rd Street. Corvettes and hot rods aplenty. This one might be my favorite, the two-tone pink and cream.
That's cool. Look at this boat. A 78 Lincoln. Now, how would you maneuver that into some of our parking stalls? Wow. Oh, a Ford.
59 Thunderbird also making its way, the yellow one behind the boat, that gold boat you just referenced, the 78. And a 67 Firebird's the red one right here.
Wow.
And after the Firebird, looks like this is a Chrysler, I believe.
Is that a Buttercup, his license plate?
Buttercup is the license plate. It's a 2003 Thunderbird, it looks like.
Wow.
The Shriners,
beautiful.
Again, not disappointing, and they're not quite done yet. I can see some of the trikes doing their maneuvers right in front of the Wilber Volunteer Fire and Rescue. I'd like to remind you that Wilber Czech Days broadcast here on News Nebraska is made possible thanks to the Wilber Care Center, the Wilber Lions Club, Nebraska Czechs of Wilber, Carpet Market, and Western United Mutual Insurance. As here come the tail end of the Shriners with their three-wheelers.
Now that looks fun.
Always wondered how much practice goes into doing these maneuvers. We also would like to thank our parade sponsor, Carr, Qualf, and Smith Law Offices, with offices in both Wilber and Crete. And thank you to our judges, John Danforth, Carrie Schmidt, and Dennis Schmidt.
Thank you. Yes, Cocker and Smith Law Office is a legal office here in Wilber, and we appreciate them providing a lot of sponsorship to the parade. We can't do it without you.
Certainly a community effort making this all possible. As we now are getting a look at some first responders, this is the Wilber Volunteer Fire and Rescue leading the charge. Engine number 1.
It's the new ladder we've got in the last few years. We have a very healthy volunteer fire department who does a lot of work to keep us safe. All volunteers.
And that's the first of a long line of fire trucks and ambulances.
Yep. Here's our neighbors to the east, Claytonia. Claytonia Fire and Rescue. Hi. It's like they have a raffle for a UTV.
There we go.
And here's Claytonia's Rescue. Wilber Public Schools is in 1965 joined with Claytonia, so Wilber Claytonia Public Schools. So there are good neighbors to the east.
And again, here's Claytonia Rescue making its way down 3rd Street. And again, candy aplenty for all of the young ones in attendance. Cavities and sugar highs, not a worry for, as we see now, the Crete Fire Department.
Yes. There are neighbors to the north, 10 miles north. And on big fires and emergency situations, all the communities rise together to work together and make it work. But we even have a Tobias.
All right, so we just saw Crete, and here's Tobias, Engine 1.
There's 8 towns in Saline County, and Tobias is one of them.
Right here in southeast Nebraska, downtown Wilber, the Czech capital of the United States of America. You're watching the 63rd annual Wilber Czech Days Parade on News Channel Nebraska. Glad you're with us, whether you're watching in Nebraska, in a different state, or a different country. Hopefully you're enjoying what this town has been putting on for so long. This is the Nebraska Department of Transportation. That is a heavy-duty vehicle.
Oh, wow. That's what keeps our roads clear when Mother Nature gets sassy.
Handing out popsicles, and that sounds very good right about now. Keeping everybody hydrated and cool. After now the Nebraska Department of Transportation, here comes the Wilber Ryby swim team. Ryby is Czech for fish.
Yes, Ribby.
Ribby, there we go, Ribby. Join us in celebrating our largest enrollment, 41 registered swimmers and the most swimmers ever in a meet with 28 participants. The city of Wilber has been great and always supported them. This year marks our first year as a member of the Wilber Youth Sports League. Consider joining the Wilber Ribey, and surrounding communities are also welcome. And they're coached by Scott Watelowitz. Is that correct?
Wadalevich. Wadalevich.
There we go.
The Ribby swimming team.
Go Wilber Ribby swim team.
And that's Scott. That's the coach right there. That's Scott Wadalevich. He's
in the
an
black
insurance salesman. Yep, Jones Group Insurance.
Very timely.
During his noon, he teaches swim lessons.
Jones Group Insurance, as you're seeing, as he holds that banner, is an account executive. Scott, so in addition to doing the swimming, he's an account executive there, and he's helping you with your insurance and financial needs since 2011. Let's see what he did there. There's a 2-for-1. Smart.
Yep. Very good.
Man of many talents.
Yes, he does a good job.
Now coming up, we have Legos on a float. This is the Sprouts Child Development Center. Together we can build a brighter future with 2 Lincoln locations, the Sprouts Child Development Center. As you mentioned, I know that's something you can get behind, Sprouts Child Development.
Yep.
Children being our crop.
Yep, they are. Most important one. Oh, this is a new business, Wilber Floral and Company. She's just started this spring, I think, and she's doing a lovely job.
Looks like she offers funerals, weddings, balloons, prom, fresh flowers, tux rentals, gifts, and more.
I think she did the flowers for the Czech Queen contest this evening.
And another pickup coming down 3rd Street. It's Diller Electric. So
but it doesn't.
Serving your residential, agricultural, commercial, and industrial electric needs, contact Steve Behrens at 402-520-3544 or Jeremy Slama, and they'll get you lit. Diller Electric.
That's cute. Well, get you lit. Very good.
Another utilities truck. And this utilities truck is Turnbull Ag Tires. Name brand tires including Firestone, Michelin, Goodyear, Titan, Alliance, Toyo, Samson, and others with over 1,300 farm tires and wheels on hand. Guaranteed on the farm tire service, 24-hour service. They're serving southeast Nebraska and northeast Kansas. Call Mitch Turnbull or Aaron Ambrose, and they can talk to you about your next tire purchase for your farm equipment. I just heard some sort of firework or boom coming this way. What could that be?
I don't know, but listen, we're glad that Syracuse came to see us. Syracuse Area Chamber, their German Fest.
German Fest in Syracuse is October 18th, 19th, and 20th, where you can celebrate your German heritage at German Fest. Traditional German games, fun for all ages. Riding today in the 2023 German Fest Royalty Float is King David Sabatka, Queen Stephanie Velik, Berger Meinstride, Rachel Zahn, and Lil Meister Everett French, and Lil Miss Ruby Woods.
Right now, very good.
On there, we saw Crisis Towing make its way through.
Body and Towing. They're from Crete, Nebraska. Another fine business in Saline County.
And now it's Revel Events. Get ready to party, Nebraska. Revel Events is your ultimate entertainment destination right here in the heart of the Midwest for over 15 years. They've been your go-to limo buses, top-notch DJ, amazing photo booth experiences, and professional videography services. From Lincoln to Wilber, we've got your celebrations covered in style and expertise. Join the Revel Events family and make your next event unforgettable. Now we have, it's Larry's Hunting Blinds of David City, and they carry premium hunting blinds, both large and small, and they offer platforms with staircases up to 15 feet high. They stock mini blinds, accessories like tie-down kits, adjustable chairs and tables, heaters, and everyone needs a solar power unit for lights and phone chargers. A website is coming too, so don't lose touch with Larry's Hunting and Blinds. Give them a call to double your fun and hunting from a blind. Oh, this is pretty dang adorable. We have children and babies and adults all dressed up like hot dogs.
This is Frank's Smokehouse. Together we keep Czech culture alive, one wiener at a time. Open 7 days a week, fresh baked kolaches, bread, and specialty meats. Serving Polish, hot dogs, duck, dumplings, and meals all weekend long.
And
very nice.
Right behind Frank's Smokehouse is Amana Care LLC, in-home assistance, providing home care to keep individuals in their homes as long as possible.
Very nice.
Coming up next, the Cattlemen's Ball.
Ooh, in 2025.
In Blue Springs, Nebraska, the Spurs were built by a young man from Paxton in 2013 to help the host family for the Cattlemen's Ball travel to parades or have them sit along the roads as a billboard to promote the upcoming Cattlemen's Ball. The Spurs are here today to let everyone know that 2025 Cattlemen's Ball will be June 6th and 7th, east of Blue Springs on the Beeline. Your hosts next year will be Terry and Beverly Acton. The Cattlemen's Ball's sole purpose is to raise money for cancer research, which is donated to the Fred and Pamela Buffett Center in Omaha. The ball does give back 10% to the community to be used for health awareness. The entire event is put on by volunteers, so make sure you're there in Blue Springs June 6th and 7th of next year.
That's quite the spur.
That is indeed.
All metal construction. Wow.
Okay, so coming up next is the Together We Can Celebrate 15 years of Audevy Family Floats. The Audevy Family Float is sponsored by Cole Construction, Inc., Jeff Cole, owner. The Audevy family is having a celebration at Together We Can, celebrating 15 years of making family floats for Czech Days. And they are celebrating with a pin the tail on the donkey party, as well as having a live baby donkey whose name is Fiona on the float. Do we see Fiona yet?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
yep, Fiona's on the back. Make sure we get Fiona on the camera. On the family float, we have the reigning Lincoln Czech princess and Prince Eleanor and Howard Sempt, and they are fooling around and having a fun time at Czech Days. And there's the baby donkey right there, Fiona, on the back end in a pen, nice and safe.
Got a hat on the little burro.
And there we're seeing the donkey. Okay, that was our last listed float before we get to the tractors.
Ooh. Bart's Bar and Grill.
Well, Bart's Bar and Grill making their way to round things out before the tractors.
Okay. It's like our first tractor is...
It should be a 1952 John Deere G, owned and driven by Pierce and Preston Pospischal.
Very good. That's helping, guiding. Okay,
and coming up next, the 1941 John Deere Model A, owned by Mark and Eileen Campbell. It was purchased new in Irwin, Iowa in 1941. Previous owners of Marvin and Mary Kay Campbell of Denison, Iowa. Current owners Mark and Eileen of Wilber. Restoration started in 2017, finished in 2021. The tractor sat idle for almost 30 years before it was restored.
We had in 53, John Deere 50, riders Melissa and Weston, Missoula.
Also a 57 John Deere 720 driven and owned by Ed Slama, restored by J.C. Slama. A 1953 John Deere 4 owned by Frank and Denise Slama. All
John
making
Deere
their way
40.
down 3rd Street.
Yep.
I believe
Those are two brothers, Ed and Frank Slama.
And here comes the 1937 John Deere B long frame, owned by Denise Slama. Getting a good look at it right here. 1937. And not much older, just a year, is the 1938 John Deere B long frame. This one is owned by Fred Prokop. After the 1938, we now go to the red tractor. 1953, Super M, driven by Chad West and his daughter, Annalise. Now the 1959 John Deere 730. It's owned by Bill and Cheryl Kostonik. Who's that?
I don't know.
It's the first tractor Bill farmed with.
Yep, first tractor.
So you know that, guys?
I sure do.
Okay.
He's really a good guy.
He seems like a good guy. Now we have the 1972 John Deere 4020, also owned by Bill and Cheryl Kostonik. The 1972 was the last year the 420 was manufactured and the year Bill graduated from Wilber Claytonia High School.
And it's driving it is Mr. Carter Milton, and I see our Prince, Gavin Puspichel, and Ethan Jobman. They are all Wilber Czech dancers, and good ones. Okay,
and now we have the unregistered tractors, an IHC 1954.
Mitch Peshek. The Pesheks from Swanton, Nebraska.
Peshek. Yep. Now we have the orange 1957, also by Peshek.
Yep. Alyssa and Mitch Peshek.
Now we have a red with white 1968 International 856, owners Delmar and Corbin Wells, in memory of Ray Wells.
Oh,
this green one, the John Deere B.
The John Deere B, but I have a year.
A few more tractors making their way down 3rd Street. Kind of on the tail end of the 63rd annual Wilber Czech Days Parade. Here's a 560.
International, Farmall International. No cab.
Who needs
one? And we
one?
did it just fine.
Yep. Natural air conditioning.
Yep. This is just fine.
2 more tractors. This is another John Deere.
Well, that's Sam Cordy. They have Food Mesto here in town. That's another old one.
And last but not least, this looks like another 4620 John Deere. Rounding out the tractors here at the Wilber Czech Days Parade. And I know this is a fan favorite. We see it every year.
It's the Hanover, Kansas Pool Bus.
4 years ago. I know one of our famous forefathers said something sort of like that. Oh, we got water balloons. We got water. We got a pool. We got super soakers. That looks like a good time.
George Sloshington, party like it's 1776.
Those aren't having fun at all, those on that.
No, I don't think so.
No fun
either.
to be had.
Yeah. What fun.
Well, Cheryl, does that officially conclude another Wilber Czech Days Parade?
Sunday Parade. Yes, it does. And thank you, Brandon, for being here, News Channel Nebraska. He's Brandon Axamit. That's a Wilber name. Axamit.
Our relatives not far from here. Crete was where my grandpa was from, Don Axamit. So I know there's connections all across here, but it's great and fun to be able to come do this event with you for another year.
I agree.
What is left for the Wilber Czech Days for this year's celebrations?
Yes, we have more dancing, a dance contest, more music, more the Queen contest.
That's right.
Got to do that, and lots of bands, good Czech bands, good dancing music.
So everything officially, though, is tonight the last night? Does anything carry over into next week? Or is this the final hoorah?
Sunday night is the final hoorah.
So if you're within driving distance of Wilber, make your way down here for tonight's festivities. You can still be a part of the action. 63rd Annual Wilber Czech Days Parade. Cheryl, any final thoughts before we officially wrap this thing up?
Thank you, News Channel Nebraska. You do a lot for Southeast, all of Nebraska. All your sports, the broadcast. It's great broadcasting team.
It's our pleasure. Thank you so much. Small Towns Matter is what we try to do here at NCN. Our terrific camera crew battling the heat. We appreciate them. And, of course, Danny and Paul in the truck producing and directing today's event. We are happy to be here, and we will be replaying this on TV and on our website, newschannelnebraska.com, so be sure to go back and watch this if you didn't get enough of the Wilber Czech Days Parade. Officially signing off, I'm Brandon Axmit. She is Cheryl Kashtanik. We'll plan on being here next year for the 64th Annual Wilber Czech Days.
Thank you.
We now join regular programming on News Channel Nebraska.
'24 Northeast Nebraska All-Star Football Classic. The red team won big last year. The white team trying to start another win streak after having won 4